You're welcome back. Thank you very much indeed. It's some 20 minutes at the top of the hour, 10 o'clock here on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. Well, the Electoral Commission on the 4th of November 2024 wrote to the Executive Director of Jatike Center, Mr. Adib Sani, replying to an application made for accreditation as an observer for the 2024 general elections. Letter reads, I bring you warm greetings from the Electoral Commission and trust that this letter finds you well. I thank you for your application for accreditation for electoral election observation. The Commission is unable to accept your application as at the time. Kindly accept assurances of our highest regard. Yours sincerely, Mrs. Jean Mensah, as the chairperson of the Electoral Commission. Well, I want to find out from Adib Sani why Adib Sani is on the phone line and why the Electoral Commission of the Republic of Ghana refused to grant Adib Sani of Jatike and some other civil society organizations the opportunity to observe the 2024 general elections. And that's been a conversation that's dear to my heart. Adib Sani of Jatike, good morning. Thank you very much indeed for your time.
Good morning, Johnny. Thank you so much for having me.
When did you apply to the Electoral Commission to be an observer for the 2024 general elections?
2 months ago. I think that was October 4th.
Mm-hmm.
No, September 4th.
I see.
That's when I applied. And that is when the letter got to the Electoral Commission.
I see. And the Electoral Commission, per what I just read, signed by the chairperson of the commission, says they are unable to give you accreditation. Beyond this letter, has there been any further explanations to you?
Negative. Absolutely nothing. No explanation, no basis, no reason. Whether we are a terrorist organization, or we are not duly registered, or we are not qualified, we are not experienced, nobody knows. It's just a one-liner. The Electoral Commission is unable to accept. As simple as that.
Now, how does that make you feel as a civil society organization playing within the field? And this is not just about Jatike, it's about other civil society organizations connected to you as well, and you being in a group, that you are not going to be allowed to observe independently the elections of the Republic of Ghana. How does it feel?
Johnny, I'm worried. I'm absolutely worried because I thought it was an opportunity for the Electoral Commission to salvage their image. Lately, there's been a lot of negative press about certain happenings within the Electoral Commission, certain funny movements of officers. Almost on daily basis, I have reports from within the Electoral Commission, almost on daily basis, on TV and radio. We hear a lot of things about the Electoral Commission, sometimes from civil society, but most of the time from politicians. And I've been concerned because when there's so much negativity around the Electoral Commission, it constitutes to undermining the institution, which invariably means you are undermining the process, which is a catalyst for disaster. That is why we thought that why don't we have independent bodies who would call red, red, black, black, and not dark gray, and white, white. Unfortunately, without any basis, we have been refused. And I am also gobsmacked, Donny, by the fact that CENCO, for instance, the Center for Conflict Resolution, have observed elections from 2008. They did it in 2012, 2016, 2020. And interestingly, Johnny, they did it at the last Asin North by-election. So what has changed this time around? What is it the Electoral Commission is hiding? What games are they playing? Because surely it is not a game you can win. So what exactly is going on? Because when you do that, you validate people's perceptions and negative thoughts about what the true intentions of the Electoral Commission under Madame Jane Mensah really are.
I see. Now, if you say the group has observed elections thus far and for this long period, that would include the period when Madame Jean Mensah was at the IEA as executive director of the IEA. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
so then it means that you would have had a relationship of a sort playing within the same CSO space. I'm trying to understand why you would be prevented then from observing this election.
Oh, I mean, we've had a relationship. I mean, CSOs, we work together. Johnny, as you are well aware of, CSOs are a function of governance. They are a function of democracy. And it is an incontrovertible fact that CSOs have played a critical role in consolidating our democracy since the inception of the Fourth Republic. As a matter of fact, I know many highly placed persons who have worked within the civil society space. Now, they are government appointees. I mean, Mohammed Amin Adam Anta, the finance minister, started with ASEP. Jean Mensah started with IEA, and we have been to IEA on several occasions on matters affecting security and what we can do together and all that. Just recently, there was another event organized by ACGEM at airports. The IEA rep was there, and we had an extensive talk about happiness pertaining to the economy and its impact on security and other, sectors of life in Ghana. And so I am shocked that such a decision would be taken. But I do know for a fact that there was a committee put together to approve. And from what I learned, most of these ESOs were approved. So at what point did they suddenly decide to prevent some CSOs from observing? I don't want to believe what I'm thinking.
Okay. Now, what are you thinking?
The best in the morning is
you see, because he's not giving an excuse, I don't want to jump the gun.
Right.
But I don't want to believe they are considering friendly CSOs. Because we are all friends.
Right.
I'm also a friend.
Right.
But I don't want to believe they are considering more friendlier, so to speak, CSOs, to the detriment of those who would see black and call it black.
I see. This grouping of CSOs who have been rejected or, if you like, refused accreditation by the Electoral Commission, run us through how many are you, who are the personalities involved, for example. Let's understand.
Okay, so from the Education Center for Human Security and Peace Building, I am the executive director.
Right.
There is also another CSO called the Center for Conflict Resolution, and that is headed by General Arnold Kenu. And General Arnold Kenu is someone I'm sure you would know well.
Right,
He's
former CDS.
Commanding officer of ECOMOG.
Right.
When we intervened in Liberia, as a matter of fact,
right.
It is because of Liberia, ECOMOG was put together because the ECOWAS was more primarily about the economy. Then we have the Human Security Research Center. Roxanne Masoon is very much part of it. You see, the thing is, there are other CSOs involved. However, it's not every CSO that would want to be in the news over this. Okay, so it's just the four of us, including the FESF Foundation, that has come together to represent all these other CSOs. I mean, but we are okay. with our names being out there. We don't
Right.
we don't mind
I hear you.
because it's all in the spirit of transparency.
I see. Adi, finally, before I let you go, so what would you do now? You have not been given the clean bill of health to go and observe the elections as you would have wanted to do, as you have always done. So what would you do now?
Okay, so we intend writing back to the EC to find out why,
Best
at
in
least
the morning is on 92.7.
as a matter of decency, as a matter of respect, we need to know why we are not granted accreditation. So we intend to write back to them, and whatever comes up, we would let the media know. It is not all we can, as it were, put out there. But surely the decision by Jean Mensa is dangerous. It is irresponsible. And I just hope that she would let common sense prevail.
Thank you very much indeed, Adib Sani of Jatike. We're grateful for your time that you could join us here this morning.
Pleasure is mine.